Welcome back to Joe Style Unboxing. So Jaime Munguia stops JOHN RYDER in 9 rounds, floors him 4 times. Once in the second, once in the fourth, and twice in the ninth. It wasn't quite all one-way traffic. Ryder had his moments. I gave him 2 rounds, the 6th and the 7th, I think, or the 5th and the 6th, or I think it was the 6th and the 7th. But Munguia was just too young, too strong, and strangely enough, he was kind of too big for Ryder, which is strange because Ryder was perceived to be the natural super middleweight. He'd gone the distance with Canelo and so on. But Munguia, how he ever made super welterweight, I don't know. He looked to me like he settled into this super middleweight division, and he picked up the WBC silver super middleweight title, whatever the hell that is. I suppose that gets him the inside track for a fight with Canelo, which is the one that seems logical to me. This seems to be probably Ryder's final fight. He's 35 now. He said beforehand, I don't want to just be a journeyman or whatever, or a gatekeeper. No one's using my name to pad their record. So he might well walk off into the sunset. If so, he's gone out swinging. He's gone out fighting. He's a true fighting man. But Munguia, who's coming into what I would say was his prime, his physical prime, he's a good fighter. And this was quite a controlled fight, because normally he can be reckless, or in the past he's certainly been reckless. But I really think that this might be his best performance, or his most controlled performance, because he's with Freddie Roach now. This was his first fight with Roach, and it seemed to me that Munguia, even though he was as busy and as he put as much pressure on the opponent, he was doing it in a slightly more controlled way, a little bit less reckless, a little bit less defensively slack. The first round was not much going on, really. Neither fighter really dominated. Second round, it was kind of even right up until Ryder got floored. He was near the ropes, and he got floored by let me see now. It was a right hand. I think there was a jab followed by a right hand that caught John. John was actually dipping, and it caught him on the side of the jaw and put him on the floor. He got up, no real problem. It wasn't a flash knockdown, but at the same time, it wasn't that hurtful. He gets up. Munguia starts putting the heat all over him, but he survives. Third round, Munguia's round, I thought. Munguia again, the pressure. John was. It was strange because when John was up close, he was landing some good punches, including a couple of nice little uppercuts, and he was quite accurate. He wasn't throwing a lot of punches. He was he was most comfortable in the eye of the storm. Whereas when it was a gap between them and Munguia was controlling the distance, he was able to catch John quite cleanly, especially with the backhand. John's a southpaw, by the way. Munguia's orthodox. In the fourth round, John got floored for the second time. He just made a mistake with his footwork. He squared up to Munguia, and Munguia hit him. Yeah, it wasn't a knockout punch, but he hit him hard. And John, because his feet were squared up, didn't have the balance, fell backwards. He was fine. He got up, but after 4 rounds, he's got 2 knockdowns against him, and so from then on, it was an uphill struggle. Although, like I said earlier, in the middle rounds, I did give him 2 of the middle rounds. I think it was the 6th and the 7th, because he was being very crafty and using his experience and using the ring quite well. Sometimes he'd be on the ropes, John, but a lot of the time he was in the middle of the ring. When he got up close, he was able to sort of tap away and catch. He was certainly catching Munguia as he was coming in with a counter left hook. He did that a few times. A very, very crafty work from JOHN RYDER. Actually, the right, was it the left? It was a right hook. No, he was cutting with he was firing hooks with both hands, even though he's a southpaw. He likes that right hook, by the way, JOHN RYDER. But I don't think he could land. I don't think he landed it nearly enough. He probably didn't throw it enough. There wasn't really a lot of bodywork going on from either man. I think Munguia was headhunting. He probably got those 2 early knockdowns and thought, I can get rid of this guy. I'll just chop his head off. John was, he wasn't really working the body enough, to be honest with you. He was kind of headhunting in a strange way too. Although it has to be said, they were both largely accurate. It's just that Munguia was a lot busier. And certainly Munguia won. I mean, I thought he won the 8th for me. Just landed more punches, looked better, certainly controlled the range more. Again, John liked to be up close and personal. Munguia seemed to prefer a bit of space between them. And in the 9th, that proved to be a decisive factor because there was a little gap. Munguia fired a right hand over the top, caught John on the forehead, and there was a slight delayed reaction. He sort of fell backwards and his legs betrayed him. So that was the 3rd knockdown. He then got up, started exchanging. Again, I mean, he went down swinging. John Ryder is a warrior. But he just didn't really have anything left. Munguia, again, too fresh, too young, too big, too strong. Fired combination. John was trying to rock and roll with the punches, got clipped, fell face first onto the canvas. That was the 2nd knockdown of the round. He gets up. Of course, he's fighting back. What else is John Ryder going to do? He ain't going to quit. There's no quitting this guy. But I think his corner were waving the towel. The referee didn't see it. Someone got hold of the bell, even though it was like 1 minute 45 into the round, started ringing the bell. It was a bit chaotic. But yeah, the fight was stopped in favour of Munguia to save Ryder from further punishment. Big respect to Munguia. Big respect to John Ryder. Munguia will go on now. Canelo is an obvious fight. But don't forget, you got David Morrell out there. Oh, I really love David Morrell. I think he might be the best of the bunch, to be honest. Benavidez is out there. But there's a lot of options for Jaime Munguia. But these guys have got to fight each other. What we don't want is they avoid each other or the politics gets in the way and all that crap. No, I want to see him in with... maybe Canelo will say, well, you know, some of you guys can fight each other and then I'll have the winner. You know, it's almost like a semi-final. I don't know. As for John Ryder, 35 years old, probably the end for him, unless he wants to carry on and have one last go. But he's probably made a lot of money out of the Canelo fight and this one. I read an article, I read an interview with him, and he said he just moved house from Islington to Essex, bought a nice big house with the Canelo money. So maybe he's thinking of other things rather than boxing in life. And good luck to the man. He's got a family. You know, you got to respect that. These guys, how many boxers walk away with life-changing money? Not that many. So if John Ryder decides that's my lot, you've been a great servant to the sport. He got 32 wins, 18 by KO. This was his 7th defeat, only the 2nd time he was stopped. Nick Blackwell stopped him previously. So big respect to John Ryder as well. So what did you think of this fight? And where do you think Jaime Munguia goes from here? Who would you like? If you had a little magic wand, who would you like to see Munguia in with? Canelo, again, Canelo's the obvious choice, but Benavidez and Morrell. And again, I repeat, I really love Morrell. I think Morrell will be the last man standing. Could be wrong, but I don't think so. I'll certainly pick Morrell to beat Benavidez or Ryder, possibly Canelo. But yeah, where's he going from here, Jaime Munguia? John Ryder, what do you think? Retirement? Let me know what you think. Let me know what you thought of the fight. And don't forget, there are other people out there like Caleb Plant, Belanga is in there in the mix. Christian Mbele, we saw last week. Was it last week? Highly ranked and undefeated, but I have reservations about Mbele. But anyway, Diego Pacheco as well. Don't forget him. He's in the mix. Anyway, tell me who you'd like to see. What do you think of the fight? And comments below. I will answer them, of course. Well, as many as I can. Thank you for listening to this. And please subscribe to the channel if you're new. And also hit the like button. That would be a big help. And spread the word about Joe's Son of Boxing. Thanks a lot. I'll catch you later. And bye for now.